everyone, and welcome to another recording for the Shifty Keys doing E3 2016 coverage. Today we're talking about Ubisoft. It is myself, Jim Surback, and I am again joined by
Quirky!
Quirky, Jimmy Quirky, back again. That's two. That's two now. This is a day of
Yeah,
firsts.
yeah,
So
sure is.
I didn't catch all of the Ubisoft panel. I'm afraid because it's just work and adulting, and it happened in the middle of the day. So that I kind of caught some stuff after the fact. Um, the first thing I saw was For Honor, which I remember them teasing last year, which I love the idea of because something about Vikings versus knights versus samurai is something we never saw in history, so it just strikes a chord with me that I want to see that enacted and I want to see it lived out.
Yeah, they showed off gameplay, and they showed off like some of the story, like the plot of it, which I thought was really good. Like for
Absolutely.
some reason the whole Earth got was in a post-apocalyptic in medieval times, and like the fight sequence that they had with just the lone Viking samurai knight all fighting for this like one little like stream of water, and then them transitioning to find out that they've been fighting for no reason for 1,000 years because of this one other faction, which they think was called Aurelian somebody, but yeah, like it was like really good. Like they really did well, and then they showed off a level in which I think it's the campaign.
Yeah, it
And
definitely felt like that.
yeah, and like it had that Dynasty Warriors kind of feel to it. Um, but yeah, it was like Rise meets Dynasty Warriors in my opinion, but it was really good. I just got to see like more of the mechanics, like the blocking and the parrying and all that. But yeah, it looked really good.
I think that's the absolute best way to describe it is Rise meets Dynasty Warriors. It was absolutely accurate.
Mm.
I thought that the story of it, for what they a little bit they showed, was was great. I mean, it's just like man, like you basically
Yeah,
have the Vikings sieging what looks like a Japanese fortress, where the samurai are, and I don't know that the samurai would be that easily defeated by Vikings, but when you have a big hulking huge son of a bitch with that kind of battle hammer or battle axe going on, I can totally see it
yeah,
being believable. There's just nothing there that seemed completely unbelievable about what was happening. Um, and it just drew me in, and I think I like the way that they did the parrying because they showed where when you're about to get attacked,
yeah.
you can move the right thumbstick
Right.
down,
Yeah.
left, right, or up, and it looks like a new fighting system that I'm excited to see more of.
Yeah, like I'm just wondering, like, is there a certain way that, like, does it show it where you have to put it, or is it just, or they're just showing where your right thumbstick was? Like, like that's more stuff like I want to see.
Yeah, I think it was where they want you to put it because when it showed the icon with the thumbstick to the right, um, he blocked to the right, and then when it showed it to the left, he blocked to the left. When it showed
Yeah.
it up, he blocked upwards. So I think that's the
Yeah.
direction they want you to go with it.
Yeah, and also there was more moves that you could do. Like you could like tackle your opponent into a wall and daze him, and yeah, it looks really good, and like I'm really looking forward to it. And they announced the date to be on Valentine's next year. So, ladies, if you're looking to buy something for your boyfriend, probably get him For Honor. It'd be a really good present for him.
Ladies, cuddle up next to your man and watch him behead his enemies, all of them in droves.
Yeah. And if that doesn't turn you on, I don't know what will.
Yeah, I don't know.
Um,
I don't know what's gonna do it for you otherwise.
yeah, but Ubisoft they opened with Ghost Recon Wildlands. Um, so they announced that last year, and they showed a couple of trailers and gameplay. Now, in my opinion, it look go. This looks like a more open world like Division, like from the gameplay that they showed. Like they showed the co-op for part of the campaigns, but like, and you could tell like it was pre-recorded, so they didn't really explain much. But I don't know. I probably need to see more before considering buying it.
Yeah, Wildlands didn't strike anything with me that the what they've released so far. I mean, I'm upfront. I'm not really a Ubisoft guy. It's not my particular poison for the most part.
Mm.
So a lot of the stuff that they showed doesn't really resonate with me, and I'm being a little on the critical side of what I see. So when I say I'm excited about For Honor, like I'm fucking excited because I'm not a Ubisoft fan.
Mm.
Wildlands, as you said, doesn't do anything for me. Um, they showed the game Grow Up, which also does nothing for me. So I'm
I
just
mean, it's a sequel to Grow Home, which was like a platformer released last year, which I didn't really play, but it's not really again in my style, so I wasn't really that excited for it. Thing I am excited, and I'll segue into this, is Ubisoft did this amazing trailer. So screen went dark, and then it showed America descending into chaos, like crimes on the rise, murders up, blah, blah, who will save us? And then all of a sudden cuts to Eric Cartman, uh, and it shows a whole new trailer for South Park: The Fractured Butthole, which is the new RPG sequel to The Stick of Truth, which I really loved being a South Park fan.
South Park lost like when I was a kid. They really lost my attention, and I've not cared about it. But my roommate loves the game, so I've seen parts of the Stick of Truth, and it got I mean it got good reviews for the people that are into South Park as a franchise, and I think it's probably just like the first one. It's probably going to fit into that world perfectly and fit that humor. So I can see anybody who's a South Park fan absolutely jumping on Fractured Butthole.
Yeah, so they've updated the combat system so you can move instead of being turn-based. It's still turn-based, but you can move. You can actually manipulate time in this one with the power of your farts. But yeah, like I'm really excited for this because they're really hard parodying the Marvel Cinematic Universe because it has a whole like Civil War theme between like the boys, which I thought was really cool. But you know, again, I'm looking forward to it, but it's not most people's cup of tea.
That's fair enough. I mean, you gotta have a diverse portfolio
Yeah,
because you gotta try to hit as much of the market as you can. I get that.
yeah.
So they also showed Trials of the Blood Dragon, which was an interesting mix-up of like Trials and then the Blood Dragon expansion for Far Cry 3, which I never played Far Cry 3, but I played through and perfected Blood Dragon, which because it's as of its 80s nostalgia, and I loved it. And this trailer was absolutely fucking hilarious, especially for those of us who like are into 80s American culture. It really is going to drive it home.
But I was really hoping because I forgot Red Linux did trials, and when I heard Blood Dragon, I turned out that tuned out trials. I'm like, oh my god, this better be Blood Dragon 2. But I'll settle for this. Like this looks so freaking awesome, and I'm also a fan of the Trials game, so I'm really happy about this.
The next thing they showed off was the Assassin's Creed movie. They kind of gave us they discussed it a little bit and gave us a little behind the scenes look at the production and a little, just a couple extra scenes that we haven't seen in any of the trailers up to this point. So not anything game related, but I think Ubisoft is kind of pointing it out there that like, hey, we're investing in Assassin's Creed the movie. It's going to fit into our universe. It's going to be done the right way, and I think they're trying to drive, they're trying to
Yeah,
drive. I'm gonna say hype, but they're trying to drive interest for it.
yeah. Like especially within the gaming community, because like we've had a really bad track record of video game movies. I mean, let's not bring up Super Mario Brothers,
Nope.
but yeah. Did you ever watch the Prince of Persia movie?
I did, but I never played Prince of Persia, so it didn't mean anything to me.
Yeah, like I've never played the Prince of Persia game, so but like I thought it was alright for a video game adaptation, but like I'm actually really looking forward to this Assassin's Creed movie as well. Like
I will admit that I'm actually looking forward to it. I've never
Mm.
Assassin's Creed was a series that again me and Ubisoft not being like BFFs, it I never really cared for the franchise. I tried playing a few games and just could never get into them. So I just went online and read all the wikis, so I know the story of it. I'm interested to see how the movie fits into the larger story.
But yeah, also another thing they showed was Watch Dogs 2,
What?
which the trailer got released a couple of days ago, the teaser trailer for it, and now they showed a mission walkthrough. Um, I was not a fan of the original Watch Dogs. Like it, it
Not many
sucked,
people were.
and yeah, but this one, like, they seem to have like really improved on it, and like they showed like all the different hacking tools, like use a drone, like a tiny little robot, which I thought was like really cool. And but like I said, it could be better. It better be better than Watch Dogs One.
Yeah, let's hope we don't have like all of the drivers and graphics issues that we had with the last game's release. I mean, this one looks, and this is the thing about staged demos is that they can look real nice and then the final product be absolute
Yeah,
shit because they put so much
yeah.
effort into making the staged demo
I mean,
run
speaking,
perfectly.
yeah, I mean, speaking of original Ubisoft trailers that looked awesome, and then was crap. The Division trailer they showed, like when they announced it, um, back in 2014. Um, like it showed like a more diverse New York instead of just like what we got, and people were really upset about that. But yeah, it just seems like, I mean, the collector's edition for of it, where it comes with a tiny little robot. I mean, I thought that was cool. Like, I kind of want the mini robot, but I'm not gonna pre-order the game just for that robot.
Nah. And then also Ubisoft is, cozying up to Sony since all of the content, all the DLC content is going to be available on the PlayStation 30 days before it's available on PC and Xbox. So,
Yeah, but they also have a deal with Xbox for the Division where Xbox gets all the Xbox and PC gets all the DLC first, and PlayStation gets it like a month later.
right. I guess my thing is that like this early they're confirming DLC as in, and I don't know, it's always one of these things where DLC is one of these things that's um potentially firestorm causing. Like there's people like
Yeah,
Luis Spartan Sloth at Rooster Teeth who really has gripes with DLC, especially story driven DLC. So it's kind of this double edged sword where they're trying to build up the PlayStation platform because they would deal with Sony, I guess. But at the same time, it's kind of the other side of it is, hey, we're gonna add on stuff and try to sell you more stuff for the game. So
yeah,
I don't think it's going to work unless this Watch Dogs is very refined. Um, and I also think, you mentioned the criticism that they received for the division not being a more diverse New York City. But my honest opinion about it is that this is what you get when you have French developers trying to describe their view of America. It doesn't come out well. I mean, the guy can't even
uh,
pronounce. He can't even like enunciate the letter H. Whoever the announcer
yeah.
was, because it was like, oh, you have to go around acting everything, and it's like acting. I didn't know what it was at first. I thought he was saying something else.
Yeah. Uh, uh, um. But yeah. What else?
Steep.
Um. Steep. Yeah. Like like I'm a huge fan of the SSX games. So I think this is really cool, where you could have multiple winter sports. Well, I'd say winter, but more extreme sports like paragliding, snowboarding, skiing, and was there anything else?
The squirrel
I
suit
think that
thing,
was it.
because they have like
Yeah,
paragliding with parachutes, and then they have the people doing what they call a proximity race, flying down the face of this mountain in squirrel suits.
yeah.
I don't know what that's
Free
called.
jumping. That's it.
Yeah,
Free jumping. I think it's called.
base jumping.
But yeah. Yeah. Like it's really good. Like like the stuff they showed, like it's based in the European Alps, which that's where the developers were. The developer Ubisoft, can't pronounce the name, but yeah, like it was really like it felt good. Like they had a bunch of crashes. Like so they showed off the gameplay, like the main features, and which I'm which I thought were like really good, but like it kind of felt generic, as in like yeah, you go up a mountain, you go down on whatever you want. Like I mean, I can't see the replayability in my opinion, but like unless they add like DLC with like more like locations like in the US or like in Asia or wherever, like eh, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
I saw it and I was like, okay. At first, when they first started talking about it, I thought it was going to be another SSX game, which is
yeah,
not my particular thing. Just for the fact that I'm not big on racing games, and I've been snowboarding once, which actual snowboarding is fun, but SSX just never grabbed my attention. But then they showed the squirrel suit thing, which actually looks really fun, and then they showed the paragliding, which I also thought was pretty cool. And just kind of speaking to the point of it, you said that this developer is from these Alps, like from their office, they can see
yeah,
the mountain that they've modeled.
yeah,
So Ubisoft can probably do a great job of a game set in a European area.
mm,
And so I think you're probably going to see a lot of polish to this game that you're not going to see in other games from
yeah,
Ubisoft. That would be my criticism of them. For what it's worth, and I'm not a coder, I'm not a programmer, I'm really shitty at it, but I know some basic stuff. The absolutely insane amount of programming that must go into being able to go back and look at your race, how you've done on your part of the racing,
yeah,
and then like record it or add other people to it and that kind of stuff is just absolutely mind-boggling. It's got to be a phenomenal amount of coding, and so
yeah,
I will absolutely give him credit for doing something hard.
yes. Speaking of getting hard, um, Ubisoft went into the VR market in a big way today
Big way.
when they announced, um, well, first of all, they had two VR games. One was a game called Eagle Flight VR, which actually looked kind of fun. So you fight as like falcons or whatever in Paris. You're flying over like a nature reclaimed Paris, which I thought was really cool. But then they announced that they were taking it one step further and going to the final frontier, which should have been a clue, but I didn't get it until they actually revealed that this was a VR game called Starship. Um, I can't
Star
remember.
Trek Bridge Crew.
Bridge Crew, yeah. And they had the actual actors. They had Carl Urban, LeVar Burton, and Jerry Ryan. I
Yeah,
want to say.
Jerry Ryan.
Can't remember the last name. Yeah, do it with the creative director or whoever it was, and and it looked like heaps of fun. Like that. Like I'm not a huge fan of the Star Trek series. Like I'm Star Wars, but like I thought it was awesome. Like I thought if I wanted to jump straight in there and have a go.
Yeah, I watched it. I didn't actually see it at the press conference. I saw it, the live press conference. I saw it after the fact. It is it was so fun to see LeVar Burton and Carl Urban and Jerry Ryan up there, who are three, I feel like, iconic Star Trek characters. And Carl Urban plays, he's the newer Dr. McCoy, but he plays the
Yeah.
very important Dr. McCoy from the original trilogy, or not trilogy series. God, I'm getting Star Wars and Star Trek mixed up. I'm a huge fan of both,
Yeah.
so I was like, hallelujah. So I think the Aegis is a great looking ship, and so it's I would really love I would love to see like these three come in, reprise their roles as their characters in this game.
Yeah.
So
I mean, LeVar Burton in the interview after they showed like the video, he had an interview with Aisha Tyler, um, and he said like it was so easy for him to go like slip back into Geordie like after a few minutes he was saying all the lingo again and like and all that, and he said like this is like the real experience that we have been waiting for. That he said because like he as he put it like when we like did the filming for Star Trek, like nothing was on the consoles. Like we had to imagine it, but now we don't. We could actually like do stuff and be like really into it, which like that's what I want from VR is like to be really invested into like what I'm doing. But yeah, I would buy like a Rift, Oculus Rift or a HTC Vive just for that. It'd be so much fun.
Yeah, I agree completely. I mean, and there's one thing about this game that you haven't really gotten ever before in any Star Trek game recently. I mean, I remember a Star Trek game on the original Nintendo that lets you do an in cockpit view. Um,
Yeah, there was one release for the first or second movie like a couple of years ago, but it
yeah,
wasn't anything fascinating. So
yeah. I mean, well, I was speaking specifically to the point that you get a different perspective on this, and that you are on the bridge. You know, you are a member of, or you are the captain of your ship, and you just
yeah,
look at it from the. For me, it would be from the view of the captain's chair, and I mean, I've played other Star Trek games. I've even played Star Trek Online, which is a lot of fun, and I think the space combat in Star Trek Online is good. I think they've got it right for what Star Trek is, but you never get that I'm in the chair looking at my crew
yeah,
making these decisions. So
like the way
that
that
was great.
it would, yeah, the way that I would probably think about it, in the first reboot movie when Kirk was doing the simulation test,
Right?
like the impossible simulation
Yeah,
test.
the Kobayashi Maru.
Yes. Like that's what I'm hoping. Like there's like certain preset scenarios that you can like have to work your way through with your friends, and then like that'd be really good. Oh, they should have called it Star Trek Starfleet Academy,
Oh God,
something
no.
like that.
They already have a Star Trek Starfleet Academy game. It's a little bit older now, but I'd rather not go back to that. Last note that
Yeah.
I have is that they kind of just wrapped it up, where they brought all the everybody out on stage, and they were like, we do what we do for you." So it was like, by the people for the people, hooray, and Eagle, and that's it.
Yeah. And they showed off with a quick presentation reel of what they released over the past year. Um,
They've done a
But
lot.
yeah, I will say this: Aisha Tyler, this was her fifth year presenting the Ubisoft uh press conference.
She does a good job.
But yeah, she every year she does an amazing job, which I really love. I'm glad they keep inviting her back. She makes some good jokes. But yeah, that's pretty much all that was of note in that conference. I think.
Yeah, that's
I
all I
can't
got.
remember anything else. Yeah. But yeah, overall, Ubisoft, uh, there's some games I'm looking forward to, like For Honor, South Park, and Star Trek. And there's also Doug games like Watch Dogs 2, um,
Grow up.
uh, Grow Up, what else was there? And
Ubisoft was a mixed bag. Let's put it that
Wildlands.
way.
Yeah, it was
So
no Microsoft. I mean,
no, yeah, it
Microsoft
wasn't. It was no
absolutely killed
Xbox.
it.
That's for sure.
Yeah, Microsoft killed this.
Yeah, so far they're the winners, but we're gonna find out here. And as of this recording, when we do it right now, it's gonna be about 25 minutes, and we're gonna see what Sony's got in store for us,
Yeah.
and we will let y'all know what's going down.
Kingdom Hearts 3!
We shall see, kids. We shall see.
Yeah, we shall see. Shenmue 3!
Should we? All right. Well, that's it for Ubisoft. Thanks again for listening to us ramble about Ubisoft. This was a little bit shorter than the other ones we've done, just because maybe we weren't the best guest for this, because I'm not a huge Ubisoft fan. I don't know about you, Quirky,
Yeah.
but I appreciate you being here and recording
Yeah.
with me.
Yeah, I'm on and off, so. It depends whether it glitches or not.
Right. Okay,
Anyway.
then. Well, that's it. I'm out. Y'all have a good one. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, see yous!